Hello, Lisa Piper here, and today I want to talk about making Chena fries. So what is this giant, odd-looking vegetable that's already been partially cut? So this is called Chena. It's also known as elephant foot yam. It's got lots of different names. It is actually a Middle Eastern yam, a root vegetable, and I'm going to chop it up and we're going to make some fries with it, but it's a little different process than most. And of course all my fries are baked. That's how we fry at my house, is we bake. So we're going to bake our fries and we're going to do a little garlic and have some flavor in there. So the first thing you need to know about this is Chena root can make your hands very itchy. So I recommend getting gloves. If you don't have gloves, you can get coconut oil and put them over your hands. And that's so that you can keep that itchiness from getting all over you. What makes it itchy? So it's the calcium oxalate and the sapions. The juicy part on the inside, it makes it itchy. It is also very itchy to your throat and to eat if you don't neutralize it first. And that's what we're going to talk about how to do. Once you're all oiled up and ready to go, you're going to start cutting. So this is usually a giant piece that we start with, and I've cut it down. Usually once it's been cut, it's going to scab over like this. We cut that scab part off, set it to the side, and then we start chopping. So I've already cut off part of the scab, and then you want to start slicing it. So I don't want anything that's too thick. I want something thin enough. And really, you're going to do the best you can in slicing it, and it's not going to be exact, but you don't want it too thick. So why are we using this really hard to prepare root anyway? So this thing has amazing nutrients in it. It is extremely nutrient dense, tons of vitamins, minerals, and also amazing medicinal properties. I have another video that will tell you all about it, and I recommend you watching that one before you get into this, and then you'll be very motivated to do this process. So once you have things sliced up, you want to make sure that you're also getting this edge piece off, because you don't want any of that peel on there. The peel, again, is that itchy part. So I just cut all of that off, and make sure you get all of it. You don't want to leave any of it on. And it's a little too fibrous, really, to eat. And that's not what you're after when you're cooking. So you're going to be slicing this off. And you could peel it any way. I prefer to cut it because it is a really tough outer layer, that fiber. And you don't want to be struggling. So I just cut. That's how I do it. So when you're done with getting all the peel off, you're going to need to figure out how to neutralize this, right? So we're not eating itchiness. You can make this in cubes. You can do it in thin sheets. I'm going to do somewhat fry-like shapes. And it's ideal if they're all about the same size, but it's okay if they're not. You're just going to look at your cooking time. That's what you're looking for. So to get them to cook consistently, it's always easier to make sure they're at least somewhat the same size. Once you have them like this, you're going to need to put them in a pot of water to boil first and then bake. So that's the neutralizing part that we're going to do. And in that water, you're going to add some sea salt, and I add turmeric. You can add tamarind powder or mango powder. I add turmeric powder in mine. And in a pot about this much water, I add like a tablespoon of sea salt, because you're really looking for saturation level, and maybe about a teaspoon of turmeric or tamarind powder in there, or mango powder in there. So once you boil them, you're going to boil them about halfway done, not all the way through, and maybe 10-15 minutes, pull them out, then you're going to bake them. So once you pull them out, they're going to look colorful because of all that turmeric, right, that we've put on there. And these are the ones that I've already boiled. And really, It's going to give a really nice flavor to it, so I prefer the turmeric myself, but you can add any other flavor in there to the salt water when you're doing the boil. And I try to make somewhat of a single layer on my pan. This is going to help with the baking process. And really, you want to make sure that you kind of spread them all out and get it all even on the pan. Then we're going to add flavor. So adding flavor, I like garlic. That's my favorite thing here. So I'll just mince up a little bit of garlic, and you can add any oil that you want. Olive oil is great with this. I'm adding a little bit of coconut oil with my garlic for this. With that turmeric, it's going to help cut the earthiness and yet give it a good rich flavor that is preferable. And so once you have some chunks all minced up, I literally just drizzle the coconut oil over and make sure it's melted. So sometimes if it's winter, like it is here right now, the coconut oil can go to a solid state. You want to make sure and melt it before you're putting it on there. And literally I will just drizzle it over the fries. And then I'm going to add the garlic. And I'm literally just putting these pieces over. I personally love roasted garlic, so I'm good with big chunks of garlic rather than a tiny mince. I'll do a bigger mince. And then I'm going to pop it in the oven, and I'm going to bake it for probably about another 15 minutes, depending on how thick it is and how long you've boiled it. It's just like any other fry that you're baking, and then you're ready to eat it. So hopefully this will give you some ideas as to what to do with this odd little superfood, and yummy ways that you can spice it up. Get creative. Put some coriander in there. Maybe add chili powder or paste in there. There's some great ways to get creative with your fries. I'd love to hear your ideas of how you would want to season this. Just comment in the section below. And if you like videos like this that are helpful, please just subscribe to our channel and give us a like, share it with a friend, and really appreciate you checking out the website, shopnaturalliving.com. Happy cooking!